could vacuum up raw eggs or spaghetti or pet messes. You can do it if you have the right tools. Bissell is bringing us their iconic customer pick. It's called the CrossWave Pet, and any item from Bissell that has pet attached to it, just know that means it's top tier in terms of durability and what it can handle. Because if it can clean pet messes, it can clean all kinds of messes. And this is so cool. Watch your screen. This is how you take one product and you simultaneously vacuum, sweep, mop, wash, and dry your floors with one product. Is this the neatest thing ever? Take this onto any hard surface floors, take it onto your runners, your area rugs, your carpets even, and you are going to town getting those floors as clean as they've probably ever been. This is such a great value that we're doing. We have about 338 of these available right now. 2 separate tanks. You even get the solution that you need. It's so simple to use. $50 off today. Free shipping and handling is another $17 savings. So we're already $67 ahead of the game. And look at this big bundle that you get. So you're gonna get your CrossWave. You're getting 3 bottles of the cleaning solution. You're getting 2 different brush rolls for all the different types of messes. You get your measuring cup. It all stores perfectly in this tray, but this is also how you clean it in this tray. All of this coming included for you today. So we're gonna get to work vacuuming up and washing and mopping some of the grossest messes ever. I need Peter Kilcullen with me to help me get it done because we go big right from the gate. Welcome in.
Thank you.
We haven't seen this in quite a while. Yeah, it's been since I think like summertime, this specific one.
Pet, it's fantastic. And here's my hope. I just hope there's people out there who have not seen the CrossWave yet.
So cool.
Because you were talking about those awesome demonstrations. Yeah. And the cool thing is that there really isn't anything else that can do what the CrossWave does, and it can't do it like the CrossWave. Because remember, it's not just picking up things like pasta and eggs that we're gonna show you. This is cleaning your floor better than whatever you're doing right now because it's doing it at the same time. So we're eliminating a step. You know what, so I'll just show you how great it works and then we'll explain a little bit more about how it works. But first you'll see that suction power. Amazing, look at that. So again, this is going to be a wet, sticky, horrible mess like the eggs. But now look at this as I'm gonna go right into that pet hair. It's amazing. So you're able to do the pet hair. And I even had some pet footprints there, but they're all gone. But now here's the important part. As you see that light up, can you see that light on the top of the CrossWave? That's me pulling the trigger. So what I'm doing is applying solution to that brush roll. So now we are cleaning and mopping that floor. So you're not gonna have any egg residue, any of those pet paw prints, none of that residue. So that's why this is doing something that you've struggled with all along, right? You have to vacuum that whole kitchen area. Then you have to go get the mop and bucket. Then you have to mop and do all that 2 separate ways. Here you're doing it all at once, but it's unbelievable what it will pick up and the way it scrubs. That's the thing I want everyone to understand. It's not just some fancy trick to pick up those eggs and things, right? This is something that's going to scrub your floor. Right. We had some of that vinyl planking in my house, and it has a lot of grains in it. You know, it's the fake wood, but the grains are still there, and dirt would fill up in there, and nothing would do it. You could scrub it with a mop, but the CrossWave did the job because you're applying the solution, and that brush roll is spinning at a very high RPM. So it is absolutely the best way to clean the floors with very little work. And it's got really great reviews. This is a customer pick. People love it because it's multitasking. Like you said, if you were gonna mop, you'd have to, okay, let's talk about this spaghetti. The first thing you'd have to do, you're bending over, you're picking noodles up, you're grabbing paper towels, right? Then you gotta get your mop, then you have to dry it. Now watch what you do with the CrossWave. It's gonna be a little quicker than that, Michelle. Here we go, you ready? I almost have to try to make this seem like it's gonna take a little bit longer. So we're able to get all that pasta, but remember now, pull that trigger, apply the solution. You're never making the floors too wet because you decide how much solution. But as you apply that solution, we're actually almost completely drying the floors because of that suction power. It's suction, it's buffing, it's scrubbing. Exactly. So let's look at this section right here. So I've got some markers, but then I have that dry cereal. So again, I wanted you to see that just dry cereal. Now I'll pull the trigger and we'll take care of all of those markers that are on there. But I wanted you to see I have the markers and then really just a wet spill. Again, no problem for the wet spill. Up here, markers, dry mess, and the wet mess, and you'll see the same thing. No problem at all. But then let's go over it a little bit more. Holding down that trigger, applying that solution. Then I can let go of the trigger, make sure that I'm drying that floor a little bit more, and that's it.
Now imagine it's not a massive mess. Maybe it's just like your everyday or once a week cleaning, how quickly you are vacuuming, sweeping, mopping, drying your floors, washing your floors all at once. And I see something like this, Peter, in my mind, immediately I'm like, but where did the eggs go? Where's the pasta and the cereal? I mean, how is it not all sloshing together? How does this work?
Well, so, listen, this isn't gonna be the greatest thing you've seen today, other than we know we cleaned all that up. So it can look a little gross. Now, you're probably not gonna do the eggs and pasta at home, but here's what I will tell you. Inside of that tank, you are going to have a dark black water, even if your floors look clean, because they've never been cleaned with the CrossWave. And again, applying that solution to the brush roll makes all the difference. So, and you've got your filter system on there as well. You're gonna pop that right back in and you're set to go. I'll flip this around so you can see the solution just goes right on the back. Makes it super easy. You can do a small area, a large area. It'll tell you where to put the water and then how much solution, and you're set to go. It pops in the back just like that. What I like about this is, you don't have to empty the solution after you've used it just for a little bit. Put it back in, and then I just take it right back out and go to work again. So it really is so simple to use. You've got your digital controls on the top. So when you're using this, there's one button that says hard floor, and that's what we've shown you so far, and that's really easy. But we also have one for the rug as well, because this is gonna be able to refresh those rugs. It's gonna be able to pick up some of the dust and maybe grass and things that have been brought in on the pets or the kids or the husbands, whatever it might be.
Or the wives.
It works for that. So I can grab this one and we'll go over there and we'll do some of the carpet.
Because if you think about it too, if you've got like the outdoor rugs, the runners like this, maybe it's your, what's it called when it goes up the stairs? The runner, the stair runner. That too, right? Those can get footprints and get dirt and debris. You can use this on that. Maybe try this before you have to like hire a professional or replace it. I mean, you can get some new life and refresh even on your carpet.
Yeah, so when I'm hitting the carpet, because you are gonna use that solution as well, but we're changing the amount of solution that we're using. It still has that powerful suction. I mean, that's the difference. Remember, the suction is out front. So the first thing we get to is that suction power, and then we get to that brush roll, and you decide the amount of solution to put on there, and that's it. Again, you can see a huge difference in the carpets. So runners, the doormats, area rugs, it's gonna be perfect. Super easy to use. And again, you can just empty the canister and you're set to go. The brush rolls are fantastic as well.
You're receiving 3 bottles of solution. So I would say it's like an 80-20. There's lines on there. You do water and a little bit of solution. You're getting 3 bottles with this bundle. You're getting the 2 different brush rolls. One of them has the bristles if you've really got to get in there, like maybe grout or, you know, stains on the hard surfaces. That's coming included. You're getting the regular one. You're also getting the CrossWave, obviously. You're getting the tray where you can store this and clean it this way, which is really cool. And the savings, originally this was $329.59. So we are at $279.99 today, and then we're also giving you free shipping, which is another $17 savings. So you're looking at about $67 today that you're saving if you're picking it up. 5 FlexPay ends tonight at midnight too, so that's how you're gonna get this home for $56. It's 0 interest on that. Those are auto payments, but you get your item right away. And read reviews. This is a massive customer pick, even when it was $329.59. So it is a big deal today to be able to pick this up and just think about, yes, the everyday messes, but we've got mud, we have ice cream, we have coffee grinds, what about kitty litter, pet spills, so it can handle the big messes and just the everyday.
I really like it for the everyday, because that's what we're struggling with. That's the one where you're gonna be vacuuming and then having to mop, and maybe you're going back and forth to the sink to mop because you don't want to put that water back on the floor, right? If we just use that mop bucket and then the water gets dirty after the first 3 feet that you mop, this you never have to worry about that. So this is a good example of that. I'll show you that. I've got it on the hardwood. So I've got a sticky mess. I want you to be able to see, I'm gonna pull that trigger and just let that brush roll do the work. Look. There's no scrubbing. This would tear up those paper towels. But even if I go slow or fast, just let that brush roll do the work for you. I mean, the difference is so great. I'm telling you, any kind of difficult spots, if you leave it there just for a second, it does the job.
No puddles left behind. Nothing.
Exactly. This is baby food, like real horrible, sticky, kind of a gross mess.
Ew.
And the thing is, when you have food spills like that, or you have milk that spills, use that solution that you're putting on that brush roll. Great for the hardwood floors because you're not leaving it extremely wet. And then we can go right to, again, that dry mess. We just did the baby food. We're able to do that coffee spill. Here's some wine spills. This was from New Year's Eve the other night. But look at that. It's hardly a challenge for this CrossWave. So if you want your floors clean, cleaner than they are right now, with less work, with one entire less step involved. Ice cream with sprinkles, maybe there was a party.
Oh,
I mean, look at that. I mean, I'm going a little bit slower so you can see that demonstration, but it's hardly a challenge. Remember, that light coming on is applying that solution to the brush roll. All I'm doing to do that is I'm pulling a trigger that's up here on the handle.
So you control when.
Exactly. So, and you're never applying that solution directly to the floor. So hardwood floors, if you're concerned about too much water on the floor when you're using a mop and bucket, this is perfect. The trigger's right there. You decide how much solution goes on there. There's a good shot of the button. So you've got your hardwood, you've got your rug, and then you've got your trigger right there, and that's all you have to do. The solution's in there and you're set to go. So we did great with that floor, but again, let's just go to the floor and just do dry mess.
Okay.
So we've got sawdust and coffee.
Yeah, just like a regular vacuum would be if you just wanted to vacuum up.
You know what, that's what I think is really cool about what Bissell has done. You know, sometimes you think, well, it's a vacuum and a mop together, so maybe it's not that great at either one.
Yeah.
But they have nailed it because it functions so well as a vacuum. You're going to have
no scattering anything.
No issues with it whatsoever. So you can go from your carpets to your floors without issue. I mean, that's it. It really works. And you're also mopping that floor. Whether you intended to mop the floor or not, it's mopping the floor. And every time you pull that trigger, you're adding that solution, and it's great.
It's a nice size. It's not some massive equipment that you're storing. You're consolidating a broom, a vacuum, a mop, a bucket, any towels you might have to use to dry. And this is a great example visually to really see what's happening here.
Yeah, this will be a good way for you to see. I'm applying a little bit more of that solution so you can see that. And then, you know what I wanted you to see? We can see a lot of the solution in the back, but then it's vacuuming up that solution as well. So you're not even getting the floors too wet. And again, I can pull that trigger the entire time. But look at, they're almost dry when you pull back because of that suction power. Remember, you know, I'll show you that again. As you look at this whole front section is where the suction power is coming from. And then behind that is that brush roll, and it's all going up into that tank right there.
Easy, easy, easy. That's the name of the game here. And it's quick. This unit only weighs about 11.5 pounds. So you can see how the maneuverability is there, how it swivels. Really lightweight. You've got a nice long cord with this. It's a big bundle that we're giving you today. You're actually getting 3 bottles of that solution, 2 different brush rolls. The tray, you can store it in that tray, but it's also cool. You can clean it that way where you can kind of run the solution while it's running. And it's almost like a paint tray where it would fill up with the solution and clean the actual brush roll itself. So you don't even have to touch anything dirty. Separate tanks, so you just dump the front when you're done. Leave the back tank there so it's ready to go when you need it.
So I'll put that in there and I'll show you that. Michelle, I'm just gonna sneak over here and grab a little bit of water. We've got the water right here. So it's, again, we call this self-cleaning. So it's in that tray right there. And all I'm gonna do, I'll pull that back just to put it on. So now it's running, and basically all I'm gonna do is pour that water across the front right here.
Oh, look at that.
So now it's cleaning itself.
While you pour that in.
Just like that. So all the water is being pulled up in there, so it's cleaning the entire area. I'll turn that off.
Look how white that came out. That's great.
Exactly, and that's just one quick clean that you're doing right there. And access to cleaning this is super easy because it is right here, just like that. So you'll be able to take that brush roll out. You can snap that back into place.
Isn't that great?
Because we give you the extra brush roll. You can switch brush rolls, whatever you want to do. super easy when you talk about self-cleaning.
All the dirty goes here, and then the clean is in the back. So everything's separate, which makes it really easy maintenance for sure. And if you're just joining us, by the way, it is an incredible value on a huge customer pick. This is Bissell. All Bissell does is clean floors. Like they know the name of this game. And what's so innovative about this one is you'll see we've got carpets, we have tile, we have hardwood, we have runners. This is wet and dry. You're sweeping, vacuuming, mopping, drying, and buffing out your floors all at once. It's truly innovative, I will say. And normally, this is a $330 bundle, $329.59 to be exact. Today, we've dropped it down to $279.99. We've given you our maximum amount of flex payments, which is 5. And what that means is when you check out, if you want to, you can spread the costs out over the course of 5 months. So $56 gets it home right away. And then you pay that off automatically every month with no interest. Free shipping and handling. So that is another $17 that you don't have to pay for. Normally, it's $17 to ship this. So in all, you're looking at, what is that, $67 in savings, 30 days to try it. Read those reviews, though. I will say it's a customer pick. People love this. The versatility.
Well, when you first see this and you first get to demonstrate it for yourself, I think you're going to be really excited. I should tell the story, Michelle, the very first time. This must be like 5 years ago now, and I got the first CrossWave home, and I had done a couple of demonstrations with Bissell as we were going over the item. I got this home. I remember I had contractors in the house. I had to stop them from working and say, guys, you've got to see this. I smashed a couple of eggs on the floor, and then I think I remember taking orange juice out of the fridge and spilling it all over the floor.
And they're like, what is wrong with this guy?
They totally thought there was something wrong with me. But I was absolutely amazed, and it cleaned the floor. I think they were amazed, though they walked away and went back to work. But I know that they were amazed, because it really is just unlike anything you've used before. And I don't think there's anything else like the CrossWave. So when you see how it can mop and vacuum and do both of them really well, you just saw how great it worked on that carpet. You're going to be really happy. So let me show you something else on this carpet. So if we were to get, let's call this a pet mess maybe.
Sure.
We'll call it that. So when you use your CrossWave on there, remember you're applying that solution so you can get it clean. But what I want you to see is how it's going to provide that suction to get that mess out of there. You can see that even as I do half of that.
So vacuuming up the moisture.
And then go over that. And again, use that solution so the brush roll can get rid of whatever mess that was. So just as I was talking about earlier, that this is something that Bissell has made this not just sort of a good vacuum. Is it sort of a good way to mop your floors? The combination is tremendous, that it really works so well in both areas.
Each one on its own is incredibly powerful, but then you combine the two, and there's nothing you can't clean with this. And it's been very popular. We've got about 330 of these left for everybody, especially at this price. The new year, people have cleaning on the brain. Like, we want to, either you want a cleaner home or you want to spend less time, right, having to clean. Maybe you want to do both. This is how you consolidate. The ultimate in multitasking. You can see 320 left for everyone. That is it. And this is a huge savings today. The free shipping is another $17 savings on top of that. I just love this idea of mopping and sweeping and washing and drying your floors with one product. I mean, that's all. I don't have to deal with this.
Yeah, there it is.
I don't have to sweep the whole house before I go back and then, you know, mop. That's so much work and time.
Yeah,
I don't want to
exactly. That's always been the difficulty. You've got to get up the crumbs and the pet hair and all that.
Yeah.
Because if you try to mop the floor without doing that, exactly, it's a huge mess. So let's talk about huge messes. Everyone loves seeing this because I think it really shows you not only the suction power, but how well it actually cleans the floor. So look at that, I'm barely getting close. The suction power is tremendous. There it is again. Again, this would be an entire roll of paper towels maybe to do that. But now let's make sure that we're pulling that trigger, applying that water plus the solution. And again, the suction power taking care of that excess water. It really works so well. This, I believe, is applesauce.
Yeah.
And it disappears
dried up
far too quickly. Oh, let's get that piece there. I mean, that is incredible what this can do. Markers, again, that's one where we can see it's scrubbing. Let it do the scrubbing for you.
Look at that.
I mean, it is so
Maybe that's
easy
like
to use.
shoe
Look at that.
stuffs or anything.
Yeah, so wet, soggy cereal. And I think there's markers underneath there as well. And then just dry cereal. Again, it's hardly a challenge. Look at how great that floor looks. I mean, it just does such a nice job. And again, I just want everyone to understand, and that was my experience with, you know, in my own house, how well it actually scrubs the floor. You're rarely gonna have the eggs. You're just not gonna have those all the time on the floor.
Sure.
You're not gonna always have milk and cereal on the floor. But if you know your floors are dirty because everyone's coming in there walking with their shoes on from the outdoors, this scrubs the floor so well. And it's such an easier way to do it and saves you so much time.
And it's lighter weight, it's not massive. You're not hiring anybody to come in and do the work for you. If you've just got regular traffic in and out, you have pets, maybe you get sand and dirt and salt from the snow coming in, and that's you know, stuck on your floors. This is such a nice item to have. You can see it's easy to dump out. Clearly, that's not the prettiest shot, but think about all the junk that's not on your floors now, right? You can dump and rinse that out, and then your solution goes in the back, and that's, I'd say 80% water, 20%
Right, so you were talking
solution.
about that. We can, so this is for, we're gonna do a small area. So you can see where the water is, and the line is just a little bit higher, and that, so you go water first, and then put solution on top of that. So we had the large area, and we've used some already, but that's all it is. So the difference here is large area, you go to water, and then just fill it a little bit more with the formula.
And you get 3 bottles
of solution. So it's not a ton of formula. And it's not something that you have to, you know, maybe like you do with the mop and bucket, you pour the detergent in there, you don't use much of it, you dump it all out because it's just in a bucket. Here, just put it back in there. I put it back in the closet, in the cabinet, and you're set to go.
You
can
only
just
use
take it
what you
out
need.
next time.
I do really love that. That's a great point. If I'm gonna just mop a little area, I still have to fill the whole bucket and use the whole amount of solution, and then when I'm done, dump it down the drain. This, whatever you didn't use, is still there. They're separate tanks, the clean and the dirty. And it only weighs about 11 pounds, so it's really easy to maneuver. You'll notice it swivels very easily as well. You get 2 different brush rolls. You get 3 bottles of solution. You get that special tray, which is where you'll store and clean the actual brush rolls. It's really, really easy to do. And you're saving $50 off that original $329 price tag. And then we also are doing free shipping and handling, so that's another $17 in savings. And because this is more than $75, anything else you bought this morning, anything else you buy tonight up until midnight will automatically ship for free as well.
Nice.
Like, it is a win-win situation. And 30 days to try it. One pass. Look at the water that comes out when you're done.
In 30 days, you will be so grateful that you have this around. Because it's so much different and so much easier to clean. So let's do just the dry mess again. So if there's dry mess on the floor, you're not gonna reach for that vacuum that you've been currently using, because now it doesn't make sense to just vacuum your floor. Every time you take out your vacuum, which for many of us is gonna be a lot more often than we mop the floors. But now, every time you take out your CrossWave and you're vacuuming, you are mopping.
Your house is gonna be so clean.
Right, you never have to take that choice. Like, all right, do I have time to vacuum and mop? I'm just gonna vacuum, I don't have time to
Always that happens.
Well, that always happens.
One or the other. Think about the bathroom especially. You're like, I gotta get the hair up first. By the time you're done with that, you're like, I gotta go. I don't have the energy for this. You can do both simultaneously. I don't know if you noticed, we popped up the little, there's only 3 minutes left in this presentation. We just dipped under 300 now of these left to go around for everybody. It's a mega sale, free shipping. I really don't want you to miss out on this. This is the demonstration that really got me right out the gate. Eggs.
Yeah, it's the power. You're going to see the power. You can see that high RPM of the brush roll. I mean, again, if you were to spill eggs like this, you're not just wiping it up and then maybe you're trying to use a spray chemical. Here, we are mopping that floor, scrubbing the floor with that brush roll, and we can go right into those dry messes. So you never have to think about it. If you have a wet spill, but there's dry messes there, it makes no difference. And look how it's tackling all the markers underneath that cereal and underneath that sports drink. And anything that sticks right there, I love to see that. It just scrubs it all for you. The pet footprints.
Aren't they cute?
Same thing.
Oh, we love those little guys, but they're messy.
You know, sometimes I like when our messes take more than like just a second to do. You can see that it scrubs and it's going to vacuum up that mess. We got to find, you know, some demonstrations that are a little bit difficult for this CrossWave, because many of them are not. And that's what you're going to find at home. The floors are going to look great.
Look at that.
It really is amazing.
And you don't see massive puddles. There's a little bit of moisture, but you have to remember, even when you pull the trigger to add the solution, you have that suction power at the same time. So you're drying it all at once also.
Yeah, exactly. So, and you really decide how much solution goes down onto the floor. I'll show you one more time before we're done, the self-cleaning mode. So I'm gonna pull that back, I'm gonna turn it on. It's in the cleaning tray, and then all I'm gonna do is add that water across the front right there. The water gets vacuumed up across that brush roll, and it is self-cleaning. So again, we're talking about the eggs and everything else that went through there. You're gonna be able to clean that brush roll. And if you want, you can switch the brush roll. Look at that.
Look how clean that got.
That was pretty clean.
And you
remember,
can, many times as you want to, you can do that.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
We had the pet paw prints on there. We also had the eggs, and we had the cereal and the markers. But look at that, it looks great. Here's the dirty tank. That's where all the action is. You're gonna have all the dirt, dry and wet, and you're just gonna pour that out and you're set to go.
I love how everything stores on board, even the extra brush rolls that you get.
Yeah.
This one's pretty incredible. I can imagine this would be great for like runners and area rugs and that kind of thing where you really, or maybe it is on your tile in the grout areas where you really need to get some extra scrubbing action.
Yeah,
You're getting both of those.
As I mentioned, switching that out is super easy. You can just pull that brush roll out.
Look at that.
And put the other one in, and then it snaps back into place just like this. That
Isn't
goes
this a
on
great
top.
deal?
That's it right there.
I'm so happy you guys are getting this. We have not seen this in quite some time. The last